Hello everyone, welcome back to the OCD Recovery YouTube channel. Before we go any further, you could please subscribe down below. Always great content going up. Great posts going up on the Twitter, the Instagram page, the Facebook page, and the YouTube page. So today I wanted to talk about the Somatic OCD Journey and what that entails. But before we go any further, I kind of wanted to talk about what is Somatic OCD. Well, Somatic OCD is the hyper-awareness / obsessions with, say, a neutral process in your body, such as blinking, breathing, swallowing, salivating, your heartbeat, or it could be stuff like noticing the bridge of your nose, noticing your toes. There kind of could be some overlap between body dysmorphic disorder and stuff like that. So when you are deathly afraid of your saliva or your swallowing or your blinking, how I was, mainly salivating and swallowing for an extreme period of time, I had to look at what was the number one thing keeping me stuck. And the number one thing keeping me stuck was the fear, so the fear of being stuck forever, which is explained beautifully and very elegantly in Claire Weeks' book, Claire Weeks' book, Self-Help for Your Nerves, and Paul David's book, At Last a Life. Paul David's book is a little bit better, in my opinion, of explaining the fear response. He was an ex-GAD sufferer, so generalized anxiety disorder, and the physical symptoms of anxiety and somatic OCD, the obsessions with, say, saliva, the reasons why it really stays stuck, that internal measuring is explained very well in Paul David's book. So I was very chronically stuck for about 18 months. It was a major part in my life, very disruptful in many different ways. I was always checking it internally, going throughout my day, measuring the sensation, going places and saying, oh, do I feel it more today? Do I feel it more yesterday? And stuff like that. So along the somatic OCD recovery journey, we'll more than likely need to bring the fear down by looking at the core beliefs. So as I mentioned, the core beliefs in somatic OCD are a couple things. The fear of being stuck forever, so the fear of it ruining your life forever, or all types of events such as weddings, family gatherings, and stuff like that, which is another form of fear. And basically, the biggest compulsions that we have are what I like to call the internal thermometer. So when you look at what's called the internal thermometer, what do I mean by that? Well, it means exactly what it says on the tin. You're going around the whole entire day, measuring that basically with a stick, going up and down, looking at it. You know, am I noticing it more today? Am I noticing it more tomorrow? Do I feel it more in this period of time and stuff like that? You're basically internally checking all these sensations. And the way to bring this down is to actually bring the fear down. So with newer stuff I've been working on with body dysmorphia and big stuff like that, I still have a lot of automatic rumination and still a lot of automatic fear and panic spasms that are being shot at me throughout the day. The reason why that's happening is because I'm still very, very scared of my core fear, which would be not being able to work out or, say, not having muscle or being fat, which in all reality might be uncomfortable, but you're just a person with fat on their body. So this is why it's really important and why breaking down fears is so correlated in all these different journeys. But back to the somatic OCD journey, the real thing keeping people stuck is the fear of noticing the sensation for the rest of your life and that catastrophizing that's going on. Now, if you notice the sensation for the rest of your life, it more than likely would not be beneficial. It wouldn't be what you wanted, but you could actually stand its presence. And this is super important to realize. It takes time to see this. It doesn't come easily. It didn't come easily for me. It took quite a long time. And you might have some setbacks and backdoor spikes along the way, which is completely okay and all part of the recovery journey. But you can work on bringing the fear down over time. When we bring the fear down over time, the response that we have, that automatic heightened catastrophizing response, starts to come down because the fear is not associated with, say, being stuck forever. And even if you were stuck forever with some relapses here and there, you know you could handle it. You know it's not the end of the world. You could still do everything you want to do. I could still hike, run my business, hang out with my wife, hang out with my dogs, and do all these different types of things. So this is very important to talk about. Before I end this video, I did want to talk about that, like I said, physical chronic manifestations of anxiety such as GAD and somatic OCD run very similar. Same thing as if you're noticing the bridge of your nose, or if you think your nose is too big, it is a type of hyper-awareness, and it might also be directly correlated with body dysmorphic disorder. I get asked quite frequently my experience with somatic OCD and BDD. I don't try and differentiate the two. I look at them of what's the core fear I have. This is for everything in life. What is the core fear I have with this sensation? Is it because I don't want it present? Am I afraid it's going to ruin something in my life? And I start to break that down over time. So you don't actually have to figure out whether it's BDD or GAD or actually OCD. There are benefits to having a correct diagnosis, but we don't actually need it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.